Are the Golden State Warriors playing chess while the rest of the NBA plays checkers? Or are they simply lost in a labyrinth of their own making? Because what's unfolding in the Bay Area this offseason isn't just a series of roster moves. It feels like a high-stakes gamble, a bewildering dance between holding on to untapped potential and chasing the ghost of a former All-Star. We're talking about Jonathan Kuminga, the young phenom whose future in Golden State is murkier than ever, and then out of left field, the surprising whispers linking the Warriors to none other than Ben Simmons, a player whose career arc has been as dramatic as a Shakespearean tragedy. Is Golden State truly ready to part ways with a rising star who just showed flashes of brilliance, only to potentially roll the dice on a $170 million enigma? The very thought of it has fans scratching their heads, wondering if the dynasty's architects have lost their touch, or if there's a master plan we're all missing. The curious case of Jonathan Kaminga has been a simmering subplot for the Golden State Warriors, a constant hum beneath the surface of their championship aspirations. At just 22 years old, the former 7th overall pick finds himself in restricted free agency, a pivotal juncture for any young player. The Warriors, for their part, have publicly stated they won't let him walk away without a compelling reason. A sentiment that feels increasingly hollow given the recent developments. Since the offseason kicked off, the front office has been tirelessly exploring sign-and-trade options, seemingly eager to find Kuminga a new home. Teams like the Sacramento Kings, the Miami Heat, and even the Chicago Bulls initially emerged as potential suitors, their interest a testament to the raw talent and tantalizing upside Kuminga possesses. Yet, the narrative surrounding Kuminga is far from straightforward. Head coach Steve Kerr, known for his demanding standards, notably benched the young forward late in the regular season and into the early stages of the playoffs. This decision, while perhaps intended to motivate or teach, certainly raised eyebrows and fueled speculation about Kuminga's fit within the Warriors' intricate system. But then, the script flipped. When the legendary Steph Curry was sidelined during the playoffs, Kuminga seized the moment, unleashing an incredible performance in the second round that undeniably elevated his value in the eyes of many. He showcased precisely what he's capable of: explosive athleticism, improved decision-making, and a defensive tenacity that could make him a two-way force. It was a tantalizing glimpse into the future, a moment that should have solidified his place. However, the NBA, as we know, is a league of shifting sands and fickle fortunes. Despite that dazzling playoff display, it appears not everyone is convinced. A shocking new report from Joe Cowley of the Chicago Sun-Times has thrown a wrench into the works, revealing that the Chicago Bulls, once a prominent suitor, have substantially diminished their interest in a sign-and-trade deal for Kuminga. This isn't just a minor setback, it's a significant blow. If a team like the Bulls, actively looking for young talent and potential, is backing off, what does that say about the perceived value or the underlying concerns surrounding Kuminga? It suggests that the initial swarm of suitors emerging like flies has dissipated, leaving the Warriors in a precarious position. So, where does this leave Jonathan Kuminga? The current expectation is that he will, indeed, play for the Warriors next season. But this isn't a ringing endorsement. It feels more like a default option, a temporary reprieve. The whispers of a trade by next year's deadline are not just possibilities, they're becoming increasingly likely. Kuminga still possesses the raw talent to become a truly great player in this league. His athleticism, his burgeoning skill set, and his flashes of brilliance are undeniable. But if Steve Kerr, a coach who prioritizes system fit and consistent effort above all else, isn't fully sold on Kuminga's adaptation to the Warriors' unique style of play, then it becomes incredibly difficult to envision a long-term future for him in Golden State. The question isn't just about Kuminga's potential, but about the Warriors' willingness to nurture it within their established framework, or if they've already decided he's not the right piece for their championship puzzle. And if Kuminga's situation wasn't enough to stir the pot, the Golden State Warriors have now been linked to a former All-Star whose career has been a roller coaster of astronomical highs and perplexing lows: Ben Simmons. This is where the narrative takes a truly unexpected turn. After a season that saw them amass 48 wins and reach the Western Conference semifinals, Buoyed by the shrewd acquisition of Jimmy Butler at last season's trade deadline, the Warriors have renewed optimism. The expectation is that next year's squad will be even better, but only with further roster enhancements. And according to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, the Warriors are far from done making moves. Siegel's report drops a bombshell, suggesting that among potential free agency targets like Malcolm Brogdon, Trey Lyles, and Gary Payton II, two interesting names have surfaced in conversations during the NBA's Summer League: Seth Curry, Stephen Curry's brother, and the aforementioned Ben Simmons. Let that sink in for a moment. Ben Simmons, the same Ben Simmons who once signed a staggering $170 million max extension with the Philadelphia 76ers. The three-time All-Star whose defensive prowess and elite playmaking once made him one of the most exciting young talents in the league. But here's the stark reality check. Simmons hasn't averaged more than 10 points per game since his last All-Star appearance in 2021. That was before he missed an entire season in 2022 due to a debilitating back injury, an injury that has plagued him ever since and seemingly sapped much of his confidence and aggression. The thought of a player with a $170 million contract who hasn't consistently produced at an all-star level in years being a target for a team like the Warriors is, frankly, audacious. It's a move that carries monumental risk, a potential financial black hole if it doesn't pan out. Yet, there's a sliver of hope, a tantalizing what-if that might be driving the Warriors' interest. Could a coach like Steve Kerr, renowned for his ability to maximize player potential and integrate diverse skill sets into a cohesive unit, be the one to unlock Ben Simmons once more? Could Kerr help him rediscover his elite defensive capabilities, his exceptional passing vision, and his ability to push the pace and create for others? It's highly unlikely that Simmons would ever return to his all-star scoring form, given his well-documented aversion to shooting. But unlike many other free agents on the market, Simmons has, at least, demonstrated the capacity to play at an incredibly high level in other facets of the game. His defensive versatility alone could be a game-changer for a Warriors team always looking to bolster that end of the floor. The juxtaposition of these two narratives, the potential departure of Jonathan Kuminga and the potential arrival of Ben Simmons, paints a fascinating, if somewhat confusing, picture of the Golden State Warriors' offseason strategy. Are they looking to shed Kuminga's potential for a player who, despite his struggles, offers a more immediate, albeit risky, pathway to defensive solidity and playmaking? Is this a desperate attempt to squeeze every last drop out of the Steph Curry era, or a calculated risk designed to reestablish their defensive identity? The decision to potentially move on from a young player with high upside, especially after he showed out when it mattered most, only to pivot to a high-priced, injury-prone veteran, feels like a monumental gamble. The Golden State Warriors are standing at a precipice, facing decisions that could either propel them back to championship contention or send them spiraling into an era of mediocrity. The Kuminga conundrum, coupled with the audacious pursuit of Ben Simmons, represents a fork in the road. Will they prioritize developing their homegrown talent, even if it means enduring growing pains, or will they chase the elusive promise of a former star, hoping to rekindle a flame that has long flickered? The stakes couldn't be higher, and the answers to these questions will undoubtedly shape the Warriors' destiny for years to come. What do you make of these bewildering moves, Warriors fans? Are you ready to say goodbye to Jonathan Kaminga for a shot at rehabilitating Ben Simmons? Or do you think the Warriors are making a mistake by not fully committing to their young talent? Let us know your boldest predictions and most passionate takes in the comments below. And if you're as captivated by this offseason drama as we are, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest breaking news and in-depth analysis on your favorite teams.